Well, hello, welcome back to the Chelsea Academy Challenge, where we just keep on trucking towards the end of Season 3. While we haven't hit the astronomical heights of last year, we're still in a close title fight with Manchester City, and a potential treble is still up for grabs, so let's get cracking. It's 2024 now, so happy new year, especially to me as I win Manager of the Month yet again. Lukaku adds another prize as well. We begin the year with Newcastle, and it's fair to say their billions haven't really helped them out in this universe, as they've already had one relegation and look to be heading for another one as well. They certainly don't put up much of a fight against us. Man City also lose as well, so we go top again by 1 point. In terms of transfers, of all of our older players, Marcos Alonso is clearly the one declining the most, and he also has some really weird contract demands, so I decide now is the time to get rid. We sell him to Real Sociedad for 2.3 million. Given that Malang Sarr can play there and we have Teo Adaramola as well, I think we'll be fine. Tino Livramento will deputise for the most part anyway. We see off Leeds in a game which sometimes would have ended up with a frustrating draw, and as City drop points again, we open up a 3-point gap at the top. We absolutely annihilate MK Dons in the FA Cup third round, Gavi running absolute riot with 5 goals. A glorious performance, although their manager seems a bit delusional. And then we secure a comfortable win at Bournemouth. Lukaku is now definitively back, by the way. We then, though, have a tricky triple header. Man United, Liverpool and Arsenal, which may well shape the rest of the season. Now, of course, we did lose to Manchester United earlier in the season in our first league defeat in ages, so this is definitely a big chance to put things right. We have plenty of chances, but it doesn't seem like there'll be a breakthrough. That is until the 91st minute when, of all people, Timo Werner, the villain of the last game, flicks in a late winner to keep us top. Deadline day is mostly an exercise in me rejecting bids. The issue we have is that while I would like to loan out a lot of the youngsters we brought in, this would prevent them from becoming club trained, so we kind of have to just keep them at the risk of their development, so we don't do anything else major. Well, this might be a first. We won every single game last month, but we don't win Manager of the Month. I guess it's fair to let Pep have a turn, and speaking of Pep, he's up next. And you know what? We are absolutely awful. We don't do anything at all for the entire first half, as a simple cross from Trent Alexander-Arnold is finished by Federico Chiesa. In the second half, some shocking defending sees Salah double their lead with an own goal off Mendy. We are dead and buried, but then in injury time, Kai Havertz shows his class for what's surely just a consolation. In the final few seconds, Hudson-Odoi flings the ball forwards to Werner, who again, miraculously, is the hero. It's onside, and we somehow rescue a point from absolutely nothing. Liverpool are stunned. City then win though, so our lead does drop back down to 1 point. We then face Arsenal in a not exactly thrilling game, but a nice move allows Lukaku to give us the lead. Christian Pulisic makes it 2, but it's ruled offside, and we hold on for a simple 1-0 win. Manchester City and Liverpool then draw, so our lead is immediately restored back to 3 points. We see off Stoke in the FA Cup fourth round, including a hat-trick for Conor Gallagher, who I didn't mention last time is, well, obviously now not on loan this season, and is also really good. Despite multiple League One teams still being in it, we obviously get drawn away to Manchester United in the 5th round. A 2-0 win over Fulham follows with a brace from Romelu Lukaku. Juventus certainly aren't the kindest last 16 Champions League draw we could have had, but a Lukaku penalty gives us the lead in the first half. Havertz doubles things up in the second before Rafinha pulls a goal back, but Ziyech makes it 3-1 with not long to go to set us up nicely. We then get an extremely dominant, if not exactly clinical, win over Watford to stay top. This makes it 20 league games unbeaten as well to end the month with a narrow advantage. Normal order is restored as we start March with Manager of the Month. Also, last time I said Luis Enrique was now the Manchester City manager, it is in fact Massimiliano Allegri. My apologies to his fictional self. Normal order continues in the league as well with a 1-0 win at Norwich with a Lukaku penalty getting the job done once again. City meanwhile lose to Aston Villa, so we are able to open up a 5-point gap at the top. And then we come from behind to knock Manchester United out of the FA Cup. I genuinely expected to lose, so great job boys. Brighton also knock Liverpool out, so at least we won't lose another competition to them. We get Southampton in the quarter-finals. Brighton are actually having a great season and are in 5th in the Premier League, so they should certainly pose a test. And indeed, the game is locked at 1-1 for a while, but then Lukaku gets things straightened up and we end up with a 4-1 win, which is made all the better as City drop points once again. We open up an 8-point cushion with 9 games to go, although we lose Mbappe for the rest of the month. The second leg against Juventus is a back and forth game. We scored twice early on, and thanks to our first leg lead, never really look in much danger, ending up with a 6-3 progression. Our youth intake looks pretty amazing with 4 really promising prospects. Richard Kerr is allegedly 5-star potential, although his finishing, pace and determination look like they could be hindrances, and he certainly would have a lot to live up to as Lukaku makes it 28 for the season as we beat Aston Villa 3-0. Our form in the second half of the season has really been great. I very much want to win the FA Cup, so it's a good job we beat Southampton 3-0 in the quarter-final. We get Brighton in the semi-final, and it's a collection of teams where we are the overwhelming favourites, so no pressure. And speaking of draws, we get Manchester City in the Champions League quarter-final, setting up a particularly horrendous week. And we'll have to do it all without one of our star centre-backs as Andreas Christensen fractures his arm while playing for Denmark. Gavi also finishes 10th in the Next Gen award thing, while Wisdom Amy, who hasn't played a single minute for us, makes the top 50 as well. If you told me that as we reached the end of Season 3 I'd have won Manager of the Month 14 times, I'd have thought you were crazy, but here we are. Lukaku gets the Player of the Month award as well, yet again. I really didn't think we'd be winning the league after last episode, but things really seem to be going our way, but I will probably regret saying that. The next 4 games will be critical. Spurs are first. Thomas Tuchel is now their manager, by the way. Losing Christensen is a massive blow, but everyone else is back. To be honest, I don't know why we're so concerned about this one. It's Spurs. We always beat Spurs. Lukaku starts things off and ends things off. A 4-0 win. Standard. We lose Ben Chilwell to injury though, which is annoying. And while City again drop points, it's Liverpool who've emerged as the main chasers. The home Champions League leg is first. The first half passes without incident, but in the second, Ederson can only parry Pulisic's effort, leading Werner to tap home. He clips the bar with this effort before having this one ruled out for some reason in extra time, so we have to settle for a 1-0 lead. Before the league match, other results see us qualify for the Champions League with £117 million to spend. The result in question being Liverpool drawing 4-4 with Manchester United, meaning that if we beat City, we'll have a huge advantage. The first half is somehow even more boring than the previous game. Nothing happens until the 67th minute when Reece James crosses for Lukaku, who I was literally about to take off, to slide in. And then they're at it again for 2 moments later, before Werner crosses in and Lukaku jumps a mile high to power home a header to secure a perfect hat-trick. I must reiterate, he was about to be taken off. I'm glad it didn't go through. We go 8 points clear of Liverpool with a game in hand. It's looking very, very good. But to the second leg. City need to score, and they do, 6 minutes in to level things up. Tomori stops them from scoring again, and while we have a few efforts, it ends up going all the way to extra time. What is it about this competition? And it's always against the English sides. But it's not over, and Kante pings the ball forwards to the fresh legs of Gavi to calmly give us the lead in the tie. But as we're tiring and out of subs, Livramento hacks down Phil Foden for a stone wall penalty, which Haaland converts, which means it's penalties for all. Haaland scores, then Werner obviously shoots straight at Ederson like the frequent disappointment he is. Pulisic then also decides to do a terrible penalty, and then Foden scores, so we're out. And you can't say we don't deserve it, but again, what is with our luck in this competition? The FA Cup semi-final is next, and it's back to business as Lukaku baffles Lewis Dunk to give us the lead, and that's that. Liverpool lose in the Premier League as well, meaning we need, I think, 4 points to win the league again. And it could be a double as we get Leeds in the FA Cup final. Kylian Mbappe grabs the only goal as we end the month with a win over West Ham that sees us put one hand on the Premier League trophy. We won every league game in April, yet we don't even make the top 3 of Manager of the Month this time. They really must be sharing it out. No matter, because, simply put, if we beat Burnley at home, we're champions again. Amazingly, this is the same number of games we needed to win the title last year as well, except then we had 96 points. Lukaku gets us underway with a penalty, he then gets a second, Mbappe scores a rebound, and Havertz makes it 4. And it just wouldn't be the same without a Lukaku hat-trick. A procession, never in doubt, champions again. Considering that we got nearly maximum points last year, that certainly felt a lot easier in the end. I give the second string a go against Wolves 2 days later and it's a 3-1 win, which actually relegates them. We beat Brentford 2-0, Everton 4-1, and then on the final day, Leicester 2-1 after Adam Holzek scored a last-second screamer to see us end the season with 101 points. Not technically as good as last year, but still. Only 1 defeat and 15 goals conceded, 16 points clear of Manchester City. Really quite good. Brighton get an incredible 5th place as well. Lukaku's second half of the season goal fest isn't enough to stop Erling Haaland this time for the Golden Boot. Mendy obviously wins the Golden Glove though, and it's another award for me. We pack out the Team of the Year again. No space for Mbappe apparently, or Kante, but Ziyech, who averaged less than a 7, makes it in. But we're not done, of course. A double would be lovely. Everyone's fit, everyone's ready. We've kept the same starting 11 for 2 years for a reason. We're the massive favourites, so let's not screw it up. An early goal would be nice. Havertz pings the ball out wide, Ziyech crosses low and Lukaku does his thing. 1-0. Christensen then makes a solid block to stop the equaliser. In the second half, a corner finds its way to Fikayo Tomori, whose speculative effort somehow makes it 2. And then, in injury time, Pulisic finds himself behind the defence, squares it for Hudson-Odoi to fire home. And that's it. Never really in doubt either. That sees us go into the English Hall of Fame thing, which is nice. And yeah, another great season. It didn't start out like it was going to be, but the second half was really special. And apart from our Champions League fortunes, nothing really to complain about. No doubt about our team of the year this time. Phenomenal performances all around. Lukaku wins the Chelsea Player of the Year, Reece James wins Young Player, Lukaku and Mount are again our top goal and assist providers. Werner wins Most Player of the Match awards, which, as much as I moan about him, is fair. He's usually a super sub. But not everyone's happy, as the board are apparently very disappointed we're not the most reputable team in England, which, given that we're literally the champions of England, seems a tad moronic. Anyway, they actually lower our expectations next season to just Champions League qualification, but then also want us to win the league the following year, which, okay, I guess. Financially, we seem to be doing pretty well, although we are suffering from a serious case of wage inflation, which is fine because we don't spend that much on transfers, but it could become an issue. The expansion to Stamford Bridge would have helped, but the council blocks it for some reason. I mean, excuse me? Great, just great. The youth facilities are also downgraded, although the board agree instantly to improve them back again. I see if we can build a new stadium, but Roman says no. It's Euro 2024 in the summer and we've got 13 players going, so let's hope one of them wins. We'll find out next time. So overall, another great year, but can we maintain it? Players like Kovacic, Kante and Ziyech are heading towards the end of their careers. It's been great to see Conor Gallagher break through this season, while Tino Livramento has been exceptional on either side of defence. Trevor Chalobah as well also deserves credit when he stepped in place of Christensen. So still lots more to do, not least trying to win the Champions League. But the future certainly looks bright.